Hey, Tyler, did you see that Patrick Rothfuss has a booth over there?
Yeah, nothing new though. The final book of the King Killer trilogy is never going to see the light of day.
Well, it's a pretty good con anyways, right, boys?
Oh, Ian, did you see that they made that game into a TTRPG?
No, what game?
Oh, it's that co-op pirate game.
The co-op pirate game? What game is that?
I think it's on Xbox Game Pass. I can't remember its name.
Oh, yeah. Sea of Thieves?
Oh, Sea of Thieves. Fuck. Welcome to the Bad Tutors podcast. If you're here for the newest, up-to-date, accurate information on the nerdy topics that are near and dear to your heart, well, let me tell you, you ended up in the wrong place. Here, we're all about hot takes and grandiose displays of misinformation, so stick along for the ride, and you might just blow a blood vessel or two. Hello! Sorry about missing the last episode, Ian. I appreciate you putting something out while I was moving.
We all gotta do it.
Yep.
It's totally okay.
Yep. So for my return to making episodes after we finished up both Monster Hunter and SCP, and I guess also Dragon Age.
No, that one's not finished. That one has 8 more episodes to go.
That's right. We'll get those out soon.
That's on the
We'll
back
get those out
burner.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we have a 40-year timeline on that one, how we have it laid out.
We've got time.
Mhm.
So I decided to do a very light topic and maybe a shorter episode. But I want to shed, I'm a big literary trope guy. Writing theory and stuff like that is some of the classes that I actually succeeded in college.
Wow, you had a couple of those?
Yeah,
Damn, good for you.
Back when I moved to the east side, not at Grand Valley. But
gotcha.
I want to shed some light on the friends to enemies or fall from grace sort of trope that we see often and injecting it into a TTRPG game, either as the player or the DM. So let's start, with the classic. You have the Star Wars prequel series. Anakin Skywalker, our hero, succumbing to the dark side of his journey to save his love, Padme Amidala. He very much forsakes everything he held true in order to, quote-unquote, save her, tossing aside the ways of the Jedi to instead become a Sith. This sort of thing can be portrayed in your games as a paladin becoming an anti-paladin or an oathbreaker paladin, or picking up levels of warlock with a very dark pact, just generally going against their strict moral code because they no longer believe in it after many different events that could happen, whether it be a traumatic fight or maybe you just see that in order to accomplish your character's personal goals, they need to strip themselves of their oath to become more effective. Or maybe it was a betrayal. Maybe your character, after nights of restlessly playing board games until 4 a.m, not having eaten that day, not drinking enough water, and drinking too much alcohol the night prior, maybe you just wanted to pull a little word prank on your friend, only for you to stutter and stammer over your words when he actually fell for the bait, instead turning the joke on you. Your character, or you, aimed a squirt gun at him, but with all the constant jabs that have been brought up since we've returned from that trip, they returned fire with a howitzer.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that we opened up the episode with you reliving what I can only assume is just a traumatic event.
Yeah, it triggers me. I'm learning to grow, Ian. Okay, I'm
That's
becoming
good.
stronger as a person.
Good.
The next way,
that scares me for the implication of this episode, but we'll see how it goes.
The next way that you could roleplay your hero falling from grace would be through some great loss. Ian, in our games that we've played together, there have been great moments of tragedy in our campaigns, but we've never truly had someone just complete 180 switch it up because and become the bad guy because of these tragedies.
I feel like I agree. I feel like we might be
getting
closest
there.
we've ever come to it.
Yeah,
you're correct that we're not there yet, but We might be like a couple sessions out.
Your new character Cassidy didn't come in just like with the absolute vengeance to kill everything, but also we haven't seen much of Cassidy in
We have not
anything
yet.
that super relates to your previous character. So something.
See, we didn't kill the Resmirans. That's what you would have seen Untold Destruction from, is the real answer.
So usually we have a sort of a conversation where it's, okay, we fucked up, or a we failed really badly conversation, but we haven't fucked up so bad with something important enough to destroy a character's mental fortitude and willingness to keep going with the adventure.
Yeah, just the player's fortitudes. We haven't
True.
brought it down to the character level yet.
But for instance, in the Green Lantern story, before Parallax was retconned into a demonic spirit of fear thing, he was actually just Hal Jordan.
Who the fuck is Parallax?
So
I don't know I kind of know Green Lantern, but not super well.
The color green in the Green Lantern Corps is hope.
Yep.
And their antithesis is fear. And that's
which is
represented
yellow, right?
by yellow, yes.
Yep.
But after Hal Jordan witnessed the complete destruction of Coast City, which is his own town, and this takes place in this the story Emerald Twilight. After that, he completely went off the rails, went absolutely mad, and systematically killed and destroyed the Green Lantern Corps. And then he took on the name Parallax, and he became a supervillain and was a villain for about a decade of comic book printings.
See, this is why DC's comics are so much cooler than Marvel's.
Yeah, but the issue is that they go back and retcon it, and then so Hal Jordan, was a great character, even though, he fucked up, killed a bunch of people, and now he's kind of evil. They basically retconned it so that he saves our galaxy's sun by sacrificing his soul, because there was still a little good in him,
Sure.
And that little bit of good didn't stop him from doing possibly the worst thing that his character could have perceived to happen. We're not going to go too far into it, but basically, he went off the deep end because he saw everything that he loved and knew destroyed by his rival. And so he couldn't handle it. He felt that the Corps failed him, and so he just killed everybody and then went on a rampage. But obviously, if you've played any games, you know that a character's backstory is often written with tragedy in it. How
the rogue's parents died.
Exactly. No one's parents are alive.
No one has living parents. That's a common trope throughout all movies, because parents make fun stories involving children and teenagers very difficult to tell.
Yeah, exactly. Because at any point, if you ask, what are their parents doing because they're doing something retarded or stupid, you can
it's a lot easier to just go
hand wave it and say they're dead.
Whoops. Why did Bruce Wayne go on this crazy spirit journey and train with a bunch of ninjas? Oh, his parents died.
Oh, it makes sense now.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Just don't think about that or how he found them. I'm sure that is explained.
Yeah.
I don't personally know.
So if you wanted to turn your PC into a villain, one of the great inciting incidents could be a great tragedy, a loss of family, comrades, etc.
Blowing up your whole planet, which totally makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe for one of your friend's birthdays, he asks everyone to make a PowerPoint. And maybe your character is so sick that they can't physically stand during that party. So you decide to remote in to be there for your best friend. And maybe, just maybe, out of maybe, 14 PowerPoints, 3 of them are very specifically targeted towards you, giving you shit for takes that you have had in the past. Nintendo bad is one of your takes, Ian, and I, playing devil's advocate in one of our episodes, sided with the company. I took their side. I don't know if
it's devil's advocate anymore, but okay.
Even though in that episode we cut out a large chunk of the arguments for Nintendo to shut down Smash tourneys across the country, which I still think is super fair for them to do, I still think I made a pretty good case for Nintendo and all other companies to defend their IP. But all of that aside, if your character would go through something similar, maybe they would snap at the loss of all their friends' abilities to think critically rather than jumping on some bandwagon or feeling bad because their game that's 20-year-old is no longer supported. But the final,
you know nothing of madness.
The final way that I want to talk about this sort of trope of, the good guy becoming bad is with Joaquin Phoenix's brilliant portrayal of a normal-ish guy. Some screws loose to begin, but normal-ish, losing it because nobody understands him and he's feeling abandoned by those around him. If you haven't seen the movie, the 2019 Joker film, what are you doing?
Would you believe it if I told you I haven't seen the 2019 film The Joker?
What are you doing?
That's a good question.
It's honestly worth a watch, even though there's so many memes that come out of it, and after it was released, so many people rallied behind the
incel
the protagonist who was actually absolutely evil by the end of the film.
I mean, hey, we know I'm Dune-pilled. I understand no one having media literacy.
Yeah, for sure.
I do want to say that I haven't not watched it for those reasons. It's on my list. I've very much meant to watch it and just have not gotten around to it.
That's fair. I can understand that.
I've only had 6 years, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, when you watch the movie, you just see a guy who has a really bad go of it finally go off the rails and turn into the Joker, who is a quintessential villain that we often think about when we look towards just villains in popular media. So how, Ian, would we bring this into a TTRPG? Well, quite simply, everyone who has ever played a game, whether it be D&D, Pathfinder, Starfinder, Vampire the Masquerade, you've all had that moment of reflection where you just sit there and you go, why the fuck did we do that? Why did we do what we just did? That makes no sense. How many of those does your character realistically endure before it's too much? Maybe you're in a party of adventurers that leave every place worse than they left it. And in being involved, you become radicalized to the other side. Alternatively, you could experience what happened to me. Being forced to fight them being your party or your friends, because of their complete lack of cognitive reasoning, they can't seem to come up with the fact that 2 + 2 = 4. You see in a Discord call long ago, years at this point, waiting on a game to start, one of our friends was chatting. He was talking about the prevalence...
No, hold on. Call him out. It's Trevor.
Okay.
It's his fault.
I don't usually like to just...
It's Trevor's fault.
I don't usually like
I'll
to
leave his last name out. I'm calling him out.
Yeah, so Trevor...
This suffering is Trevor's fault specifically.
Trevor was talking about a salad or something. He's vegetarian, but he was talking about how there's croutons in the salad. And then he had completely blind fired the stance around the corner of all reason. Why would anyone want crackers on a salad? It was then that I said the words.
Is an insane take.
Yeah, I know.
I'll agree with you there on that one.
It is then that I said the words that have defined me since that moment.
They've defined all of us, to be perfectly honest.
I said, dude, croutons are toast. And if I could take it back, I wouldn't. It isn't my fault that this has gotten so long, so convoluted in the conversations of our friend group. Ian, it's your fault that all of this has gotten so toxic. The day after the game...
I'm not going to deny that at all.
The day after the game, you made a fucking PowerPoint presentation at work while you're supposed to be doing work, supposed to be earning the money that they're paying you. You made a presentation about how croutons are in fact not toast because you don't make them in a fucking toaster.
It was not a short PowerPoint either. I put some effort into that baby.
Regardless of the arguments, this actually blew up to the point where everyone who has ever interacted with me on more than a just friendly face-to-face
passing basis.
Yeah, they have given their stance on it. And shamefully, many can't seem to connect the fact that if you cook bread a second time, you get toast. Many of my friends are long gone. And if any of your TTRPG characters went off the deep end for a debate about whether croutons are toast, I understand completely. I, myself, am just one more argument away from saying, fuck it, and moving into the mountains of Appalachia and living off the grid with my dog. I'm sick of it. I can't pretend anymore.
I will be fair. I'll join you there. If that argument comes up one more time, I'll go to an adjacent peak and we'll shout at each other across the fucking dewy forest every morning. I cannot take another minute of that argument.
I cannot pretend any longer that those who think croutons are not toast aren't living in a manic state 24/7, or that they aren't all state agents sent to tear me down because I'm getting too powerful. Whatever it is, I've had enough. It's time for my
He's getting too close. Send in the squad.
I'll replace all of your sugar with salt. Fuck with all of your faucets so that the water pressure is high enough you won't call your building's maintenance man, but it's too low to the point where you spend just too long to get your hair wet in the shower, to the point where it's just so fucking annoying and you wish more water was coming out of the shower head. I'll set all of your clocks 10 minutes early so that you're late to work every day. I'll replace all of the batteries in your smoke detectors with already dead 9 volts. I'll poke a hole in the lid of your toilet tank so your water bill goes up $15 a month. Don't fuck with me anymore.
What the fuck? What?
You know that little flap? Have you ever opened your toilet tank? You know, there's like the chain that connects the handle. You push the handle down, it lifts the flap to let the water in to flush your toilet. Yeah. So if I poke a hole in that, it's going to constantly drain into your toilet bowl, and your water bill is going to go up $15 a month. That was a bit of a rage, but don't fuck with me anymore.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, if your party is pushing you to that point where you're constantly rubbing your temple, maybe it is time to roll up a new character as a backup and go a little crazy and stuff a bag of holding into a portable hole. But that's all I've got. Ian, you got anything to add?
I mean, you weren't lying. That was a little unhinged, but I'm here for it. Bring us back just a little bit, a genuine thing that I'm curious on your stance of with this topic. I can't think of any direct examples at the moment, but I feel like the kind of cataclysmic fall from grace arc can often be either not done very well or like forced. What am I trying to actually say?
No, I know what you're saying. So it's like
that. Yeah.
So it's like, okay. And you see it a lot in the media that does it well, is it's either one massive thing that your character or the character that's being portrayed simply cannot recover from, or it is a build-up of smaller things that finally get them to lose their faith in either the party or the empire they're supporting or what have you, that finally makes them snap. So for me, my advice would be find your moment. And a lot of times in D&D and Pathfinder, it's passing moments back and forth, and you have to take your moment. And we do that really well in our groups of letting someone have their moment.
I agree.
But like, I'm sure both of us have been in games where it's like somebody really wanted to explore what just happened, but for one reason or another, it was kind of brushed over and not like torn apart and really chewed on by that character.
Not necessarily like ignored, but just brushed over a little too fast.
Yeah.
I mean, as well as sometimes it unfortunately gets ignored, but we try and avoid that as much as we can.
And I know you don't watch Critical Role, but there's a really great example from the first campaign. And this is a spoiler warning. because this is a big moment that happens
Mhm.
later in the campaign. But one of the players, Sam Riegel, has his gnome bard Scanlan. They're fighting one of the dragons that they have to kill. They have to kill a whole uh, array of chromatic dragons, all evil, all working together to basically rule over the continent that they're on. And
Mhm.
his character falls in that fight. They get him back, and it's fine. But a little bit of context is that he had just met an estranged daughter that he didn't know that he had. And that moment for him was a wake up. It's time to be a dad. It's time to be something more than just this playboy bard that's going around having fun, saving the world with his friends. Now there's real stakes to everything that he does. And
Mhm.
he told the party one thing, and it was to not let his daughter see him fall. Because they knew the stakes going into this. They're fighting a dragon that
Right.
at the time was a very formidable foe for them.
Mhm.
They do this kind of prank where they kind of make him look like the absolute biggest sexual deviant possible. Strip him down into like a G string and manacle him up. And then they have his daughter come in.
As you do to your
Yeah, of
friends.
course. They have his daughter come in for the resurrection of everything.
Mhm.
So when he gets back, he kind of asks what happens. He gets filled in, but then he finds out that his daughter was there for when he got brought back to life. And
Mhm.
this normally lighthearted, carefree character switched to a very offended character, saying things like, "Why the fuck would you do that?" You know, this
Mhm.
is the one thing that I told you not to do. And then he went on to bring up how the party had did a bunch of things for all of the other members, but never anything for him. And it ends with a very famous line of "What's my mother's name?" And none of the other player characters knew it, and it was one of the most defining moments of his character's life. And
Mhm.
so that was sort of his I knew it. You guys didn't care about me. I'm just here to tell jokes and make you laugh, play a song to cheer you up, heal you. He also was the one that was casting a magnificent mansion spell where they could rest in like a pocket
Oh,
dimension,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
free.
Mhm.
And he brought up the fact that basically he's kept around for his utility and not because they care. And all of the other players,
Such is the life of a bird.
yeah, all the other players tried to say that they did, but when he asked what's my mother's name, none of them knew the answer. So at that, his character departs for a little bit in the story, and he plays another character. But I think
Mhm.
to put a nice little bow on your question is you have to seize the moment and you have to be prepared to seize that moment. Don't ever turn your character into the villain um, on a whim. It's got to be something that's been brewing with you. Maybe from the start, you wanted your character to be somebody who seems trustworthy or maybe is even trustworthy and good, but something happens to them that shakes their foundation so much that they can't continue how they were. Um,
Mhm.
I think in your campaign,
I was just going to say uh what I have in our campaign, or in my campaign that you're also in, we have a witch in the party that has been slowly doing some witch shit, but then took like eat people and was kind of like trending towards just like a general evil air that I would define as witch like, fantasy witch like, for lack of a better term. But I had created a what was at the time a homebrew villain that did in fact get turned into the BBEG, that had been systematically torturing and killing his family throughout the entire campaign, and I was trying to push him down a road in an attempt to bring back his dead sister, his the closest person that he was with, to the closest family member he had, and to bring her back, he would have either had to sacrifice his own life or the life of his now insane mother from seeing her husband and son slaughtered in front of her. And he didn't choose to take it, which I think is an equally good character development. I am obviously not upset that he didn't go full evil.
Well,
but it was right in front of him.
What's great about his story, and was masterfully done by the player Grant, is he was right at the cusp of doing it.
Like literally right there.
He was looking for essentially a vessel for his sister's soul to live on in, and he pretty much brought to this vampire's lair 4 girls that were around his sister's age,
and 4 random teenage girls,
and he basically had them do like a police lineup and was picking between them which one looks the most like his sister, has the most similar physical traits and voice and what have you, and it wasn't until my character asked him, like, whoa, is this really what you want to be doing?
Because by the way,
this is a step way past any line that we've ever crossed, and we've done some very morally gray things in that campaign. I think our whole campaign is not black or white, good or evil, even with the nature of it, which seems to just promote such a thing. We are strictly morally gray. Never doing something simply because it's good. And maybe our end goal is to achieve a greater good for the area, but it's all achieved at immense cost
of yourself.
Yeah. And each character is losing themselves, whether it be to a cursed item, the loss of family members,
a gorilla arm.
I was gonna say a gorilla arm. The idea that that maybe what you did in your past is the real you and not who you are now. I think that kind of sums up Kevin's character from what he's let trickle out. I think that whole campaign is very morally gray. So at any moment, any one of us can just turn to the villain. And I don't think that them becoming the villain would be the end of the party or their relationship with the party either.
I don't either, which is why I thought it would be very interesting to see it happen. To see a neutral to evil party overall go and take down the very, very defined, very clearly evil villain, like no question, like written into Pathfinder history is one of the worst tyrants there had ever been, but still seeing a pretty evil party where one of them is even a necromancer herself be like, well, we still have to fight this and take this down because it's better overall, is a very interesting story to not just see the cleric, the paladin, the ranger, and the rogue go and clap some lich cheeks.
Yeah. And that's another point that I want to touch on, is if you are going to make your character have a fall from grace, a hero to villain, you have to do it with others in mind. I also had a necromancer who never wanted to be evil, but through things outside of his control, cursed relics, etc.,
the plot,
he certainly was by the end of it. But the entire time I was working with the DM, especially when it got to being more evil than good, I was working with the DM to okay, how can I still help achieve the party's goal, save the land, be the heroes, but also get what I want out of it? That's something that you have to consider if you plan on playing a villain. And
Yeah.
there are certain situations where you just cannot be a villain yet. And if you are trying to make your character a villain in a party where they will not have any of it, you need to be ready to set that character aside.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that's the difference between wanting to make your playable character a villain or wanting to create a villain for the DM to create a set piece with.
Exactly.
Because I think both of them, I don't think either one is like a better option than the other. I think having your fall from grace in playing an evil character like you did, like I was trying to get Grant to do, is very interesting. I think it's just as interesting, just in a different context, to have that fall from grace and go, here's my character sheet, DM. I have a new one. You tell me when he comes back and we fight him.
Yeah, the closest I got
We
to
haven't
that,
had that. I'd say, have we had that?
well,
Really?
in our
I don't believe we've
Starfinder
had
game
that
that we
Noah's.
played for a little over a year, a
Mhm.
lot of us at different points were like, this character does not gel with anything that I imagined it to be. And
Yeah.
so you and I both made
Right.
mechanics early. And we were
Yep.
going opposite builds. And then we're like,
Mhm. It
it's
doesn't.
it's not
It's fine. It doesn't.
It's not it.
Yeah. It
We're
just
not in a
doesn't
spaceship yet.
click.
We're like walking around on the surface of a planet. We're not really doing anything that our class does. And so we
Yeah.
both hung up that character. And
Mhm.
so I ended up playing 3 characters in that campaign because one of them
You
died.
did end up
But
playing 3 characters in that campaign.
I went to the trope that I'm most comfortable in, which is a rogue that
the oldest man. Sorry.
that
right.
uses subterfuge, etc., to get one up on other people rather than being a straight up assassin.
Mhm. I went with the classic trope of playing a character that doesn't necessarily fit with the party at all.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's what our original characters were, anyways.
Yeah, it was.
And so
the class was more fun though, whatever that fucking class was called. Mystic?
yeah, Mystic.
That's
yeah. That was just a full caster.
Yeah.
But we ended up
that I of course played as a melee fighter, because why would I play the correct build?
We ended up with a party split that was 2 androids and then a bunch of other people at the beginning. A Lashunta, a rat folk, what are the lizards called?
Vesk.
Vesk,
and a
yes. A Vesk and a human. And so
or 2 humans depending on
the timeline, yeah.
Yeah.
But we were so split in that campaign from the beginning, and I also wasn't loving the class early on, that I just handed our DM my character.
Oh fuck, you did. You're right.
Said,
now I'm remembering.
Use him how you
Starfinder
want.
out. Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't want to play him anymore. And then I brought in the character that I really enjoyed playing, which was what are they called? I can't remember. Operative. Operative that was very roguish and had a soft spot for children on a planet that was very much a capitalist caste system. Yeah. And he was just trying to look out for the little guys in that area. And then through reckless actions, my character got killed in a way that I wouldn't change. Because if he pulled it off, it would have been fucking sick. And the fact that he didn't is equally as cool. And then after that, I played another caster that was part of a crime syndicate. So still cool stuff that I enjoyed.
Yeah. We just didn't get to see a ton of him because we blew that campaign wide open. That campaign became too wide open and therefore blew itself apart.
Yeah, exactly. So after that campaign fizzled, we were just kind of like, All right, that happened. It got too big for our space britches, so we moved on to our current campaign. And this is the first campaign that I've played one character through all of it without having
Oh my god, it is.
without having
Unless you
any.
count mine with our main group, at least with the group we've been
That's
playing with the
true.
longest.
That's true. I've played both the characters that I'm actively playing in Pathfinder for the longest that I've ever played a character.
Yeah. You got fucking close to dying in mine.
I mean,
you get close to dying. You
the
get close to
pirate
dying in
campaign,
Pirates.
I die
Literally
almost
every fucking
session.
combat.
Like every
Yeah,
time
you've
there's a
di-
combat, it's like I'm
That's true.
at like 4 hit points, and the next hit
you
will
are-
kill me.
You have played the same character the whole campaign. He has just died 3 separate times.
All 3 times happened mere
Within, like-
moments after each other too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, within less than a 12-hour span,
Yeah.
depending on plane shifting timelines.
Exactly.
But like
So
within 10 combat rounds, you had died 3 separate times.
But yeah, I think in our pirate campaign, we just made the very active decision to steer away from villainy and just
Weirdly.
totally diving into it. I know, we decided from the beginning it was going to be an evil pirate campaign, and we just kind of kept doing good things overall for the people.
Yeah.
And maybe our characters are evil, but they're achieving good through their just absolute reckless
Just like
abandon for life.
Yeah, we're just like One Piece characters if they were edgy.
Yeah. We're all
Pretty
edgy.
much.
Well, edgy.
We're all very edgy. But yeah, I don't know about you. In most things I find it difficult to actively play and like a truly evil character. Not like chaotic evil. Because, like, you know, chaotic evil's just
Chaotic evil
hey, I kill everything in front of me. Like, it's fine. I do whatever I want and just make it bad.
All of your random acts of evil and villainy is just justified in, oh, I'm just so chaotic and quirky. It's just so boring to me, which is why when my evil necromancer got turned chaotic evil because of a curse, I was so sad. And I didn't even really play to the chaotic evil at that point. I was just like, my alignment's locked so that I can get smited by paladins twice as hard.
Correct.
But yeah, so when you want to make a villain, just look at my life. My life is a villain origin story, especially when you add my friends in.
Yeah. Mostly when you add your friends in.
But I mean, that's all I've got. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We hope you have a great rest of your weekend, day, whenever you happen to be listening to this. And until next time, I've been Ian.
And I'm always Tyler.
And for the first time in a while, I don't think either of us know what the fuck is coming next week.
Certainly not. But we'll figure something out.